Hi, Dawn Lewis here with a project featuring Mama Elephant, and I'm making a 3D star effect card. I'm using Lunar Animals and Carried Away by Mama Elephant for my stamps today, as well as a small pair of scissors, my bone folder, Tombow mono adhesive glue, craft knife, and my self-healing craft mat, as well as a ruler. I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink. I will use Archival as well as my mini Misty stamping tool, and I have a 6x6 paper pack and cardstock pack, which are from the Reject Shop, most surprisingly very excellent. I'm using my tonic trimmer today, as well as blending card for my Copic colouring and a variety of Copic markers. This is the paper pad that I got from the Reject Shop, and the monkeys in the stamp set are kind of calling to the bananas in the paper pack. I'm going to use a dark yellow, and these papers and cardstocks are 6x6. They're actually a little over 6x6, and I'm going to trim 1 inch off both. I'm going to set them aside and use them later so that the cardstock and paper it's just a little wider than it is tall. Now I've marked the center, and I'm turning it so that the center is at one end and the corner of my cardstock is at the other. It's the perfect way to create the base, and those two triangles make the insert that goes on top. I'm cutting my pattern paper down the middle, then from top right to bottom left, and then from top left to bottom right. So this is going to give me all of the matching pieces, but right now they're all the same size, and I do want a bit of a border. So on the short edge and long edge, I'm taking off a fraction, maybe 1/8 of an inch, just a little tiny bit, which is going to give me a nice little border all the way around. So I've repeated that on all of my banana triangles. I'm using Tombow mono adhesive today because I really want a little bit of leeway. I'm applying it all around the edges, but not too close to the edge, because we don't want oozy glue everywhere when everything goes on. And it just gives me a moment to move everything around after it's glued down, unlike double-sided tape where you kind of need to get it right first time or pull it up. So I'm going to repeat that and stick all of my triangles down, and there will be a gap between these two on my base piece. So this is the base, and I'm going to just reinforce that there by getting the fold right. I am measuring 2 inches up on that slanted edge from the bottom, and now I'm going to bring in my self-healing mat. The lines on the mat I'm using to make sure that my triangle is right way up, and I've also placed my pencil mark on a line. I'm going to use the line on the mat with the ruler to make sure the line is straight, but I'm using the measurements on the ruler to cut 3/4 of an inch down here. I've got to make sure I go through all 4 layers, 2 layers of cardstock, 2 layers of pattern paper, which I have done, and that's why we put the glue around the edge. Now here is the crossover. It doesn't matter if you go right over left or left over right. You want to just sort of make a V shape in the bottom there. It's almost kind of got a W look around about it. Once you get that so that it's even on both sides and you've got a proper angle going on there, I've just applied some glue. I'm holding it down so it dries, and that's my front piece. So when you're going to send, if you're going to send this via in the mail, you close up the base and you pop the top on top, and it's going to need a square envelope. You can make your own, or you can use one that you've bought, and then when the recipient receives it, you could pop a little note in to let them know to put the front piece into the slots on the back piece, and look, it stands up all by itself. Ta-da! It's really cool. Now, I did not invent this. This is just all the rage at the moment, this star effect card. There just aren't very many tutorials, so I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring and show you guys how I made it, and my fun interpretation with these cute banana papers. Now, the bananas were completely influenced by the monkey in the Lunar Animals set by Mama Elephant. I love this little monkey. I don't get to colour it near enough, and so when I had decided to do the monkey, I went, oh, I know, I've got to use that banana paper. It's just so cute. All of the Copic colours I'm using are over on the left, so you can follow along. You can also find a full list of the colours and all the materials I used on my blog. There's a link in the description box below. If you're looking for Mama Elephant in Australia, you can find it at dawnlewis.com.au, and I have a pre-order service, so if you would like me to order something in, I can totally do that for you. All right, now let's put this whole thing together. Let's start with making these little monkeys a bit festive and adding jaunty party hats. 2 of the monkeys are going to have hats to the left, and the other monkey is going to have its hat jauntily set to the right. I'm going to use the Go Get Carried Away on Your Birthday greeting from the Carried Away stamp set. I thought that worked really well with monkeys. Every time I see monkeys on TV or at the zoo, I think they really do get carried away. They just enjoy life a lot. So I'm going to stick that down, and for my mat I'm using that 1 inch of cardstock that I cut off earlier. It's the perfect size mat for this greeting. It worked so nicely. So I'm going to line it up so that it's straight and going to add all of my embellishments. Now in hindsight, I wish I put this monkey over on the left, because when I've come to add the monkey onto the background, his tail kind of gets in the way. Maybe I could have put a fold in it, but his little tail gets in the way. I've also decided to add some silk leaves, just fabric leaves from my flower stash. They give that jungle feel. Now, when it comes to writing on this card, I personally would probably write on the back of it. But if you weren't using such pattern paper, you could write on the front. I'm adding just gold sequins randomly, give it a bit of bling, make it a bit more fun. Some are going onto the star piece on the top, and some are going onto the base. You can put them wherever you like. This is such a fun card. It's brilliant for 6x6 papers and cardstock. It's a great stash buster. It's fun and interactive, and I think as much as this is a kids card, I think adults would like this as well. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and especially if you subscribe, I appreciate that a lot. Look for all of the details on my blog below in the description box. And if you are looking for Mama Elephant in Australia, you can find it at dawnlewis.com.au. I do hope that you have a very crafty day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.